Okay, today we're gonna do a really simple yoga series. I'm gonna actually bring us to the ground, and if you're feeling really uncomfortable with getting up from the ground, what I like to do is put a bench or a chair nearby so that you can use it to get up and down. You can also place pillows around. We're outside right now, so I haven't placed them, but that's what I do in the clinic. Like if somebody's really worried about, getting from the floor, getting back up, especially a larger man, because they see me and I don't know why, they think my little 5-foot self can't help them up, because I can, but that's typically the response. So what we do is to make everybody feel a little bit better, we put this here, and then I tend to use it in therapy, and I'll show you how. So you walk in, your yoga mat's here, or the carpet, or the floor, or whatever, and then what you would do is, again, no shoes. So try to take your ankle foot orthosis off or have someone help you with that, and then you wouldn't have any braces on your hands. If you're really spastic, you would stretch out your hand and then place it slowly down on the bench. And then from here, this is actually excellent weight bearing. You'd bring this foot over, your left foot over, your right foot over. And what I love about this is it's actually really hard for survivors occasionally who have hemiplegia to do this movement. Okay, this is hip flexion. So right here, you're challenging your hip flexors. And then let's say that I am right affected. It's really interesting because if you try to lift up your right foot, it's really easy because your hip adductors are, and I'm going to take a break really quick. This is abduction, this is adduction. Abduction, adduction. Okay, so you're here, we got here, you guys remember how? When you lift up your less affected leg, it's actually easier, okay? Oh no, other way around. When you lift up your more affected leg, it's easier because you're used to that. You're used to picking up your leg and not weight bearing through it. But if you pick up your less affected leg, it's actually really hard. And the reason is that your brain doesn't want to recognize it as a base of support. And then the other reason is that your hip adductors are really weak. So this is a really good balance exercise. Really good weight bearing for your hands, really good weight bearing for your feet, for both of them. Okay? And then I like to go forward, back, side, side, forward, back, side, side. And I do that like 10 to 15 times. And then really slowly, I'm going to take the more affected leg back and try to go down. One of the problems with this is that you'll see that my toes are up like this, and that's really hard post-stroke. So you'll likely have your foot like that, and that's okay. And then with whichever hand is easier, you can put another hand on the mat and then slowly bring this foot back and then bring your other hand down. Okay? So now you're in one of my favorite things ever, tabletop. And if I were going to teach you one exercise to do for the rest of your life, for all people, not just brain injury survivors, it is cat-cow. Cat-cow is so good for you. It's so good to stretch out your latissimus dorsi, and that is the muscle that is what is most affected through this whole thing. So you're gonna do, I always mix them up. Cat, just like this, and breathe in. Oh no, see I did it again. This is cow. So when you arch your back, it's cat. So when you round your back, it's cow. Breathe in, cat, breathe out. Oh, this one's really tough for survivors. Breathe in, round your back, breathe out. Good, and then from here, we can practice a little balance. So I get so many people in this position, and then I'll say, okay, lift your arm, and they'll lift their affected arm just like that, no problem. Then I'll say, okay, lift your not affected arm, or your less affected arm. And they'll go like this. Why do they do that? So that they don't have to have weight through here. So I want you to challenge yourself to keep your shoulder over your wrist as much as you can. I can feel my triceps firing so hard. And to slowly put your weight forward. You're gonna feel like you're gonna fall. Your brain is gonna be very unhappy about this, but it's really, really important that you try, okay? For super advanced work, you can practice doing your less affected arm and your more affected leg. And go really slow, deep breathe. Good, good. And then you can try with your less affected leg and then just kind of leaning forward. Feeling how that feels in both of your hands. Looking at your hands and making sure that they're symmetrical. Looking for symmetry is so important. You're gonna find too that you might be really tight going into child's pose, but this is also a great stretch. And really good for your feet, because your feet are getting a nice stretch too. If you want, you can reach back or have somebody help you put your foot, the more affected foot, into this position. And you can practice going up and down. You can also take a strap and stretch your foot. Just like that. Good. So then we're gonna move to side sitting on our affected side. And what you'll notice is that in a very short time you've had some learn non-use creep in. Even if you've been going to all of your rehab appointments, likely when you're getting out of bed, when you're getting up from the couch, when you're tired, you're using your less affected hand, your less affected body, your less affected leg to get up. So this is a really great little exercise, just weight bearing through this arm. And then we're gonna do some thread the needle. So you bring your hand in and open. Try to open your chest, get a small spinal twist, nothing in the neck. So you're not going like this and up like that. Just as a precaution, if you're going to like a yin yoga class or something like that, be really careful about your neck because you are a survivor. I don't know what the nature of your injury is because I can't know, right? Because you're in the interwebs. But we always want to be careful of our neck, okay? So in, breathe in, good. And then we're gonna go down to here. This is a little bit harder and really hard post-stroke because your obliques on one side are very weak. But what I want you to try to do is keep this nice square-like structure from the shoulder to the elbow to the wrist, and then just kind of slowly come up using your side body. And then to add to challenge, you can do this, or you can bring out the other leg. Or you can just stay just like this. And maybe you can do that for 3 seconds. That's 3 seconds today, but tomorrow maybe that's 4 seconds. And the day after that, maybe it's 5 seconds. And the day after that, maybe it's 30 seconds. And then you're cooking. So just keep trying, keep going. If you have a lot of pain in this position, you might be collapsing forward and you might be more in internal rotation than I would like. Try to protect your shoulder by putting your shoulder right over your elbow. If you have a severe subluxation, this might be too soon to start. And a subluxation is when your humerus, the bone, is outside of the socket, and you can feel that if you have at least a 2-finger subluxation, you should probably hold off on this one. But if not, then this is a great exercise. And then my last and final thing that I love is pushing through your hand and sitting up, and then slowly getting back into tabletop. You can go through another sequence if you want, or you can kind of inch forward, come back to the table, and everything's just really slow. Slowly bring your foot up. This is the hardest part. This kneeling position is really tough. And this transition, because see how I did that with my foot? That's not easy, right? So you can actually bring a string forward and help your foot, a strap, help your foot up, or have someone help you, and then slowly bring it in, and then push up to stand. You just got so much good stretch with weight bearing. Such a good little sequence. I want to see all of your videos. Send them to me. I'm sure you're doing awesome. I hope that this video finds you well, and I'll see you soon.